The Flying Circus scores heavily. Eddie Rickenbacker's WWI Adventures, Chapter 21. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an in-depth analysis of a pivotal moment in aerial warfare history. Today we explore Chapter 21 of Eddie Rickenbacker's memoir, Fighting the Flying Circus. On July 31, 1918, amidst the harrowing days of World War I, Rickenbacker returns to the skies after a severe injury. We delve into the strategic complexities, technical challenges, and profound sacrifices faced by Allied pilots during this critical period. Return to the skies. After suffering a debilitating ear injury that physicians warned might permanently ground him, Captain Eddie Rickenbacker confronted significant apprehension. The inner ear damage threatened his equilibrium, a vital faculty for a fighter pilot navigating three-dimensional combat. Defying medical prognoses, Rickenbacker undertook a test flight on July 31st. Piloting his SPAD-30, equipped with a powerful 220 horsepower Hispano-Suiza engine, he executed rigorous aerial maneuvers, loops, barrel rolls, and steep dives. The successful flight, devoid of adverse effects, affirmed his physical resilience and psychological fortitude. His return not only reinstated his combat role, but also served as an inspiration to the 94th Aero Squadron. A day of great losses. The triumph of Rickenbacker's return was overshadowed by severe losses within the 1st Pursuit Group. On that fateful day, the group experienced significant casualties across its squadrons. The 27th Aero Squadron in particular endured devastating setbacks. The attrition of seasoned pilots and aircraft weakened operational capacity and deeply affected squadron morale. Lieutenant John MacArthur, a promising ace. Lieutenant John MacArthur of Buffalo, New York, stood out as a rising star within the 27th Aero Squadron. At just 22 years old, he had achieved 5 confirmed aerial victories, officially earning the title of ace. Flying the nimble Newport 28, MacArthur demonstrated exceptional piloting skills, sharpshooting accuracy, and tactical brilliance. The fateful strafing mission. On the morning of July 31st, MacArthur led a formation of 6 aircraft on a daring mission to strafe the Richthofen Circus's aerodrome near Fismes, 20 miles behind enemy lines. The Richthofen Circus, officially Jagdgeschwader 1, was Germany's elite fighter wing, renowned for its aces and crimson-painted aircraft. The mission aimed to disrupt enemy operations. Executing low-altitude attacks, MacArthur's formation inflicted damage on enemy installations. The struggle to return home. Turning westward, MacArthur's squadron faced a formidable 40-mile-per-hour headwind. This meteorological challenge reduced their ground speed, increased fuel consumption, and jeopardized their ability to reach Allied lines. As fuel gauges dwindled, enemy formations, alerted by the attack, moved to intercept. MacArthur skillfully maneuvered, seeking gaps in the enemy's aerial blockade. MacArthur's heroic sacrifice. Recognizing the dire circumstances, Lieutenant MacArthur made a fateful decision. Drawing inspiration from Horatius at the bridge, he elected to confront the enemy directly, hoping to create an opening for his comrades. Despite his valiant efforts, MacArthur was shot down, his aircraft plummeting from the sky. The remaining 3 pilots, out of fuel, were forced to land behind enemy lines. The loss of Alan Winslow. The 94th Aero Squadron, famed for its hat-in-the-ring insignia, also suffered loss. Lieutenant Alan Winslow of Chicago. Winslow had the distinction of downing the squadron's first enemy aircraft, marking him as a prominent figure within the unit. On the evening patrol of July 31st, he engaged a German Fokker D-7th. Observed diving in combat until both planes vanished at low altitude, Winslow failed to return. Unexpected news from behind enemy lines. Weeks passed with no word, and the squadron feared the worst. Unexpectedly, a letter arrived from Winslow himself, dispatched from a German hospital. He recounted being wounded in action, a bullet shattering his left arm, necessitating amputation above the elbow. Displaying remarkable resilience, Winslow expressed gratitude for his survival and acceptance of his condition. The following day's mission. On August 1st, Lieutenant Harold "Doc" Loomis was tasked with escorting 3 French Breguet 14 reconnaissance aircraft on a critical photographic mission over Fismes. Despite not being fully recovered, Rickenbacker decided to accompany the mission, recognizing its strategic importance. Ascending to 15,000 feet, 5,000 feet above the formation, he positioned himself to observe and, if necessary, provide top cover. Encounter with enemy Fokkers. Enemy Fokker D-7s soon appeared, keenly aware of the Breguet's mission to photograph German positions. The Germans maneuvered to intercept, while Loomis maintained a protective stance between them and the reconnaissance planes. Both sides engaged in intricate tactical maneuvers, each pilot acutely aware of the stakes. The aerial battle over Fismes. As the Breguets began their photographic runs over Fismes, the German fighters initiated their attack. Loomis led his Nieuport 28s into the fray, resulting in a fierce dogfight. Aircraft weaved through the sky, engines roaring at full throttle, guns blazing. Rickenbacker observed the engagement critically. The turning tide. Under intense pressure, Loomis's formation began to scatter. Some pilots disengaged due to mechanical issues or the overwhelming odds. Loomis found himself pursued by 3 Fokkers, isolated and in grave danger. Recognizing the critical moment, Rickenbacker dove from his high vantage point. His unexpected intervention caused the German pilots to hesitate. Loomis's desperate glide. During the skirmish, Loomis's aircraft sustained engine damage, resulting in total power loss. At approximately 8,000 feet and 6 miles from friendly lines, he faced the daunting task of gliding to safety. Calculating the glide ratio of his Nieuport 28, typically 10:1 under ideal conditions, he needed to maintain aerodynamic efficiency. The tense journey over no man's land. As Loomis glided over enemy territory, he was besieged by anti-aircraft fire. The Germans, recognizing his powerless state, intensified their efforts. Demonstrating exceptional piloting skills, Loomis adjusted his controls to optimize lift and minimize descent. Ground fire from rifles and machine guns added to the peril as he crossed over successive trench lines. A miraculous escape. Miraculously, Loomis cleared the last German trench line, skimming just feet above the ground. With no remaining altitude, he performed a forced landing in no man's land. Immediately, he exited the aircraft and sprinted toward the American trenches, roughly 100 yards away. Enemy soldiers opened fire, bullets striking the ground around him. Relief and rejoicing. Rickenbacker returned to base and filed a detailed report of the events. The squadron, concerned for Loomis's fate, was elated upon receiving a telephone call confirming his safe return. The successful mission and Loomis's narrow escape were causes for celebration. French headquarters extended gratitude, confirming the downing of an enemy Fokker. Reflections on the perils of warflying. These episodes highlight the multifaceted dangers of early aerial warfare. Pilots faced not only enemy aircraft, but also mechanical failures, adverse weather, and relentless ground fire. The emotional strain of losing comrades, such as MacArthur, and the uncertainty surrounding pilots like Winslow weighed heavily on those who served. Conclusion. In reflecting on the events of July 31st and August 1st, 1918, we honor the bravery and sacrifices of pilots like Lieutenant MacArthur and Lieutenant Winslow. Their actions and those of their comrades played a significant role in the broader context of the war. Rickenbacker's narrative offers penetrating insights into the tactical challenges and human experiences of WWI aviation. Closing remarks. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of Eddie Rickenbacker's wartime adventures. His first-hand accounts provide invaluable perspectives on the evolution of aerial warfare and the indomitable spirit of early aviators. We encourage you to delve deeper into Fighting the Flying Circus for a more comprehensive understanding of these historical events.